blah blah blah. Communities connected live.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Comedians Connected. Doing my original quick sound check. I never really trust myself to have this exactly right. So as soon as I hear we're good, I'll get going. Hoping you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. As we know, trying to get these going again. We're solid. We're solid. All right. So I am trying to get these episodes going again. Um, I've been trying to reach out a little more in the last few days to get a few more interviews going. I've been able to reach out to two more people. I want to keep you guys updated. Whether I fail at getting an interview or I don't, I just want to let you guys know. One, because it's kind of forcing me to do what I'm saying. I keep telling myself I want to bring in more interviews. I want to bring in more interviews, and if I don't remind myself that this is what I'm doing and these are the reasons why I'm doing it, it's easy to slag off and not do said thing. All I'm doing is creating new habits, and these are things I'm not used to doing. So, with what I've learned in previous episodes, when I just bring in interviews, sometimes I'm not really ready for that interview. Reasons being, I didn't look into it. I've never really done interviews, and as I'm focusing with everything else going on, now my head sometimes is in the right spot. And I'm sure you guys have noticed that through some of my interviews, I might seem a little more blank, or maybe I repeat a lot of questions. It's because of how I'm learning to do interviews. And when I bring someone new in, the conversation is different, topics are different. Um, it's just a different style of talking with, different age groups, demographics, whatever you're looking at. It's always going to be a different style of conversation, and person A may not have the same interests as person B. So if I have those interests of person A, it's going to be harder to talk to person B because maybe I haven't looked into those interests. So as I'm learning to do things and how to drive a conversation, um, it'll keep evolving. I'm hoping it keeps better. That's actually the goal, is to make it better. So with that being said, one of those things that keeps me going and keeps me thinking I'm doing better is encouragement. I was speaking a little bit about it yesterday's video, saying I've had some people come up to me, and they did, the ones that do come up and speak about Communities Connected, they have positive feedback. And I don't expect that positive feedback just because I know what goes on in the background. I know I've had a lot of issues with sound. I've had issues with videos. I'm trying to upload in different spots. I know everything that's been going wrong. So when I get that positive feedback, it kind of surprises me. So it surprised me in the positive way. And even when I get that negative feedback, I'm kind of expecting, because they're like, yeah, I'm trying to think I'm doing it. But when I get it from someone else's frame of mind, it sometimes gives me ideas on what to do to fix it. And sometimes those people even are the ones with the answers. So it doesn't matter to me, good feedback, bad feedback. It's all positive. It's all is encouraging, because when I do get those negative ones, they normally have a tip. They have an idea of what I should try, and I by no means ever try to take it as a negative thing. I always try to listen and see, like, yeah, that might be it. And that's kind of how I started figuring out how to fix right now the audio. I'm hoping it still is good. Again, I don't trust it to be perfect, but I want it to be perfect. So it's through those things, and the more I started hanging around people that are encouraging me, I found myself encouraging others. I started having those habits that they're pushing onto me. They're saying, like, man, you're doing this great. I love the consistency. Even though I fell off for a month, pretty sure it was like a month I didn't do videos. People were still telling me like, man, you're just so consistent and stuff. And it's like, you guys realize I haven't done anything about 4 weeks, and there's still that talk about consistency. So one, it made me want to come back into it. I originally wanted to, but I was clearing things out for myself. So having those positive feedback, people that influence you, you know, monkey see, monkey do. So as I saw my friends doing other stuff, I was just like, oh man, keep that up. I love that you're still doing it. It's those simple conversations, and I'm not just having that same conversation with everyone, but in a way, it is a conversation that we should have. We should be having with our friends, with ourselves, with our family. Initially with yourself, you know. Episodes before, I'll try to see if I can share it again, but I've talking about love, you know. And quick version of that, I was just basically speaking about that we're taught to love someone else, but there's not that great conversation of how to love yourself. All the movies, everything talks about falling in love, finding that one other person. It tells you to push your love out, but you know, it can show us the dark sides where someone isn't getting it back how they feel, but it never really focuses on what we should do to get that self-love. So one of those things is, you know, be the one person that does encourage yourself. If you're surrounded by negativeness, it's hard. I'm not just saying blank it out, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to ignore certain people that you would hope they were encouraging to you, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes, you know, it's their own self-doubt. It's things that they have going on, so it's harder for them to push that out when their mind is already filled with self-doubt. So when you're getting those doubts, when you're getting that negative feed, most of the time you shouldn't take it as a personal attack. You know, it's what's going on in their mind to help them. So for me, I've been really lucky to have those friends that are striving to have those positive things. And even now, I was speaking with my wife, Rachel. I have a buddy, you guys might know him, Brandon. I really don't know how to say your last name, but Brandon, recently a newer friend I've been making. We started playing video games. I met him through Cully Bear, and this guy will like wake up and text me good morning, like, hey man, good morning, how you doing? And to have a male text you, have a good morning, they were thinking of you when they woke up, is a good feeling. It's not weird, and I think we should really focus on making sure we're contacting our friends, our family in that sense to go, hey man, even though I just woke up, I'm thinking of you, and not even in a weird sense. I'm thinking that everything's going positive for you, and just the way he comes off in his message, I love. So when I wake up and you know, sometimes I get right to work and I ignored my phone. Next thing you know, first thing I'm reading is between my wife. She went to work, whether she stayed home or not. She said good morning. Next thing you know, you see one of my other friends, good morning. You don't expect that. When you start getting it, it feels good. So to reiterate it, that I started trying to do it the same way he does. You know, I wake up and more than likely he's gonna message me. I go, hey, good morning, man. He and I just have built this awesome relationship that I hope you guys find. I hope that you guys can find that one person who is thinking of you. You know, if you have your girlfriend, wife, who's ever with you, you know, yes, they absolutely will probably be texting you. That's the love, but I feel like it is important to make sure we get that one from our friends, you know, and we in return give that same love to our friends. Family, same way. I'm really, really bad at communication, and this is why having these contacts is awesome. I don't do a very good job of always messaging my family, my sister and my mom. A lot of days will go past, and all of a sudden I'll get a random call. Hey, how's it going? You've been silent for a while. And yes, it makes me feel guilty, but again, I still have that family support where they're constantly thinking of me, and they're giving me my space, but at the same time, they're letting me know, basically saying, you know, I want to hear from you. How's your days been going? Because I let so much time go out. And it's just awesome that I have the ability to have that kind of encouragement. And this is why I want to speak about encouragement, because, you know, with family, I've been lucky enough that it's been there. As I've gone through friends, I've come across friends that didn't have that same type of encouragement as said, like the guy was speaking on Brandon. Just because I'm speaking of just about Brandon doesn't mean all you other homies aren't great. You guys are all great. There's just a more recent thing. So, you know, it just feels good, and I feel like the more we do it, it's going to push us to be better. And that's why I want to focus on moving this channel to keep doing things out there, to keep pushing that, you know, encouragement. along with dealing with yourself, your friends, your family, make sure you're encouraging your community. I would say that's the next biggest thing that you can encourage. It's your community. It's your surrounding. If you think your surrounding sucks, find a way to, start lifting up your communities. Very small things. Making friends with your neighbor. Maybe you've had this neighbor for 6 years, never spoken. Might be a reason why you hate your neighborhood. Not trying to say you guys are doing things wrong. I've done the same thing. Here and there, I was like, man, that neighbor just looks salty all the time. Well, I don't know what's going on in his life. I shouldn't be judging, but, all of a sudden I started speaking to more of my neighbors, and all that negative stuff almost gets brushed aside, and they're just happy to have a conversation. So now it's just like, oh, hey, man. And now it's become like a habit versus just looking over. We look at each other awkward. He's probably going, man, that guy's always giving me weird looks. And I'm over there like, he's always giving me weird looks. Now it's like, hey, guy, how's it going? How you doing today? And just a quick conversation. And it's small steps we can do. Past that, I'm trying to pay attention to more things that are going on, with events. Just anything that does encourage positivity in the community. I believe you guys should try to be involved any way, shape, or form. That doesn't mean you need to do all the activities in the community, but doing small things, just start being a part of that. And I think that's just really going to bring that positiveness in it. And along with encouragement, one of those other things I've always talked about is encourage yourself, encourage your friends, and encourage your family to fail. When you do that encouragement, again, you're focusing on things and you're realizing that either A, you want to do something, or someone around you wants to do something. Doesn't matter. We should encourage them to try those things. We should encourage them to go, you know what? Yeah, do try to start singing. Do try to start doing comedy. Whatever it is that they want to do that is a positive thing, encourage them to do it. If they want to start, your friend is really crafty, encourage them to keep using their craftiness. Encourage them to just do a lot more with what skills they already have. And you're going to see that as you do that, they're going to start realizing on your skills, and more than likely, they're going to start encouraging you to do things. And it's just like eventually just becomes a circle. You guys will be encouraging each other, and the more you guys, keep, if it's not, as you guys start to accomplish small feats. So for me, getting this desk was a very small feat. I had people go like, man, that thing looks slick. And they knew I was doing the podcast, and they all started talking about, man, that would look dope. Before this, I didn't have a mic. We were trying to do things with just a phone. And, things went on. And I finally got a mic. And friends, people that are seeing things that are coming together, they're just really, really good, positive people to have around. And now there's like a positive energy flowing. And that's really what we need. Could I have been surrounded by friends, being on the lucky section where the people I consider friends, they started seeing me do this. They've been like, man, you're a fool. Why are you trying to waste your time? Blah, blah, blah. They could have fed my entire mindset with negative things. Now, whether that would have affected if I started or not, who knows? But I feel like the reason, even when I get negative feedback, that I don't get discouraged is because I know who's there to leverage me, who's there to help me out. And if they see, I'm putting myself in a bad mindset, maybe I'm getting too down because I wasn't able to figure out sound, there's going to be somebody next to me who's going to be like, nah, man, you got this. Just think of the questions you really need to ask. And it just helps things flow a lot better. So just want to quickly hop on, give you guys another just quick episode as we try to restructure things. I have a few ideas. I'm going to rush out of the house. I'm telling you, we're going to change this background a little bit. We're going to be doing different things. So I want to get to go doing that real quick. But yeah, did I say it was Tuesday today? Man, I'm all over the board. It is Wednesday. It is definitely Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday, guys. Any comments, anything you guys want to throw into conversation, make sure you leave in the comments. There's a few other things I'm working on. I'm not going to quite say them yet until I fully have them in stone, because I think it's going to be dope to get going. This is how I want to encourage you guys. 1, start doing something. If it's anything you've ever wanted to do. If you suck at drawing and you've always wanted to be an artist, start doodling. That's what I'm really, really telling you. For me, this is how everything came along. I've always liked drawing. Next thing you know, I started drawing, and one thing led to another, and I'm getting all kinds of different equipment. Now there's a mic slapped in front of me. So it can start with drawing, but you're gonna see what passion you want to drive. So yeah, I want to encourage you guys to start doing something. If it even pushes you more to do it, create a page. That's really what kept me going to do these episodes. Is now it's like, well, I've started something. I can't really let it set aside for me, because I want to make sure that I'm happy. And as I start doing these things, you know, it does make me happy to do them. It does. I look forward to doing them. There's some days where I'm just like, I really don't have anything that I want to say. Creates a little struggle, but in the end, I'm always glad that I've been keeping up doing these. People have come through. So yeah, get to those. If you guys know of anybody who's doing anything in your city, wherever you guys are watching this from, send me a link to their page. I want to see what they're about, and maybe we can get them on the show. So if you want to see said friend on a show, let them know about this, share the page with them, have them message us, or share their page with us, and we'll look into it. So until next time, have a great Wednesday, guys.
No. You are now in tune to W blah 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 Communities Connected Live.